Okay, this video is just about making movies in fledermaus. It'll be pretty brief. It's difficult to go in a lot of detail because that would take a long time. So this is a data set that I've just opened. So it's just open now. That's the way to start in fledermaus. So we've got. We just want to make sure that the way my tabs are set up might be differently, but we just always select the data set and they get open attributes and object attributes, and you can start seeing these tabs. So the one we'll be interested in is in time. The first thing to do, I guess, is to try and set a beginning and end time. This has been set to 3 minutes because it's what I had before, but you can just change it to say 4 minutes just by clicking down and then setting beginning and end times. And 3 minutes or under is sort of a good time for a movie, so we'll make this one 2 minutes. The default was 10 seconds, so it's good to change that. If you've done some of your movie already in 10 seconds, it will, when you change the time, it will say, do you want to scale? And that's basically, if you've done 10 seconds, if you want that whole 10 seconds to be spread over 3 minutes, then do scale, but normally you wouldn't. You just say, oh, you've done 10 seconds, but you want to add some more after 10 seconds, so you just say, do not scale. So what we'll do is we'll add a plane. So you go to create, and then you add a plane. This is going to be our sea level, so we're going to just show sea level changing. So at the moment the height is minus 1,500 meters. So we just make sure we go to edit and we go to the translate, so we can move it up and down. You can see there the height changes. So the thing you want to do is make sure that position and orientation is on the show keyframes. I'll just show you another quick example. Is the fact that you can have it visible or not visible. So that means whether it's showing or not showing. So if we add a keyframe, it says show because it is showing. Now if I go to my data sets and I unclick, that will change to hide, which is 000, so the beginning of the movie. I change it to 30 seconds, I go to data sets and I click it. We now have hide and show, which means that just before, so if we do that, you can see just before 30 seconds it's not there, and on 30 seconds it pops up. So you can double click to go to the actual point. So if you double click on that keyframe, it will go to 29, 28. Double click here, it's gone to 0. So now I want to show it, so I'm going to click there and you can show it. There are other things you can do. You can change the transparency and the scale. The scale is not so important with sea level, but it works exactly the same as all the others. So you change the scale, you add a keyframe, you click there so it's further along the keyframe, you change, and then it adds a keyframe for you. So you can see there, it will just change the scale over that period. So it automatically does it smoothly. So you might run into problems with this. I'll show you briefly when we're doing sea level. Anyway, it just sort of automatically assumes a smooth sort of, continuous movement. It doesn't stop in any points. So if we just unclick animate value, and then it will say delete the keyframe. So we want the keyframes deleted for scale. So I'm just going to make that smaller. So we're not going to do scale. We just want to do position and orientation, which is the up and down. So we start on 0, 0. We'll say that it's minus 1500. And then we go to time and we add a keyframe, so at 0, 0, 0 is minus 1500. Then we'll move to 4 seconds, and we can either just change it like this, and then you see immediately a new keyframe pops up, or you can go to plane and you could make that minus 1000, and you can see here it's minus 1000. Then you can just move along to 7 seconds. Just add key. You can press add key, or you can just move it and it will automatically do it. So, and now we just change again. So we'll just say we'll move to minus 500, which will probably be quite high. So and then we just want to check 1,500, 1,000, and 1,500. So if we just go back to the beginning, you'll see there's this continuous movement upwards because it knows what position it's going to end at. And so it will just basically go through that movement. So the problem comes in when you want to have sea level going like that and then moving up again, so stopping at one point. So if we just delete all the values I've just done and then re-click animate value, what I normally do is add a value, and then if I want, then I'll move on, I'll do another sea level, and if I wanted to stop at this sea level, I'll have to move the timer again, add another key, so that it between 6 seconds and 10 seconds it's the same level, so it won't move. Then I have to move again, you can add another key, so between 6 and 14 seconds it won't move. Then you move again, and then you put it up. So I'll just show you that. It's very fiddly, because it sort of tries to double guess you. So you can see at 6 seconds it should be stopping, but it's not. So let me just try that again. So I'll just delete these. So at 16 seconds we've got 11 minus 1133. And we want to add again, minus 1133. We want to add another key, 1133. And then we go and we add another value up here. So that should work now. So you've got at 6 seconds it will go to 1133. It should stop there. See, now it stopped. And it does this weird it does a bit of movement downwards, which I haven't worked out how to stop yet. I guess that's something to do with the way that it wants to sort of move all the time and doesn't really like to stop. So that's the only way I can find around the problem, is just to keep on putting keyframes at that one part, but I have had that problem where it just moves up and down. So yeah, you can do other things like scale, as I said, and transparency, and that pretty much is it in terms of just this quick tutorial. I mean, there's lots more to look at. You can do this. You can add which one else can you do? You can add objects, add shapes, and you can add boxes, spheres, cylinders, and cones, and you can do all the same things like change them around, so that you can have boxes changing shape and size. So yeah, that's about it. And then if you want to save, you just go to File, Save Scene, and it will save all the information about the movie. And then to create the movie, you just you go to Tools and you go to Render Movie. And I might have to do another video for sort of the settings, but I usually just use the default settings and just make sure I'm exporting it, or when I go to Movie Maker, just make sure it's an MPEG 1.